Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. So Costa Rica's Yokasta Valle, Yoka as she's known, orthodox fighter, 5'4", 3-weight world champ. She's held belts at atom weight, 102 pounds, minimum weight, 105 pounds, and light fly. She defeats Marlen Esparza in a flyweight bout. Esparza herself has held, I think she's held 3 versions of the world title at flyweight. Good fighter. Good. I mean, they're both good, very, very good fighters with very good resumes. But Valle edges Esparza on a split decision. I agreed that she won the fight. I had it 96, 94. One of the guys had it 90, 97, 93, I think. In fact, there were a couple 97, 93s. And then I think the one that the judge that went for Esparza had it 96, 94. There were a lot of close rounds in this. Both ladies, orthodox, give and take. It was all a little bit cat and mouse at times. Again, we're talking those 2-minute rounds that I hate, but a lot of people don't. And for Esparza, I mean, she came in with 15 wins, just the 1 KO, 2 defeats on points. This is kind of a bit of a bad result considering her age. She's 35 now. She's been a world champ. She was also a medalist at the Olympics. She picked up a bronze. I think she's the first American girl to ever do that. So that's a nice little piece of legacy to have under your belt, be in the record books for that. At flyweight, she lost to Gabriela Alanis, who went on to get knocked out by the best of the bunch, in my opinion, arguably the best fighter in women's boxing, which is Gabriela Fundora. And Alanis won a split decision over Esparza. So that's two. That was both these split decision defeats have been in her last 3 fights. That was the defeats were sandwiched. Well, they sandwiched a victory with Ale Muchinho, which was a unanimous 10-round decision. And that was a good win. So she's still got something left. And against Valle, she didn't look anywhere near to being a shot fighter. But you just wonder, at 35, does she want to do this anymore? It's kind of strange looking at Marlen because she's, I don't want to sound rude, but she's quite a chubby little thing. She's about 5'3", maybe 5'2", 5'3", and she's got quite a big sort of middle. Quite a little bit of weight possibly could come off. So you would think, well, maybe she could go down, as far as minimum weight. 112 seems to be her fighting out of her division, but she has beaten. I forgot to mention, she actually beat Gabrielle Alanis in their first fight, and then lost the rematch. She won a majority decision in the first fight, which was hotly disputed. I mean, I thought Alanis won that fight, but in the rematch, Alanis beat her, like I say, on a split decision. And the third of her defeats, Esparza, was against Senisa Estrada. That was back in 2019 when she lost a technical decision, a unanimous technical decision. Now, Senisa Estrada, she is very well known to Valle because a few fights ago, Valle had an undisputed title fight at minimum weight and lost a 10-round decision, unanimous 10-round decision. Prior to that, Valle had held the IBF and the WBO belts and had beaten some good women. Annabelle Ortiz, she beat her on, I think it was a unanimous decision. And a couple of undefeated fighters as well. I mean, Jessica Salazar, Evelyn Bermudez, she beat her. So she's got a good resume as well. And both these girls, I mean, Valle's 32, which again, no spring chicken really for a flyweight. Esparza's 35. I didn't see any evidence of either girl declining. And it has to be said that Valle, I think, is going to stick around to try and win a belt in a 4th division, which is flyweight. The problem for her is that, Gabriela Fundora holds all the belts, including the Ring Magazine belt at 112. And I would not want to go anywhere near Gabriela Fundora. I think Valle is a good fighter, a very good fighter. I think she's quite a big star in Costa Rica as well. She was born in Nicaragua, but she made a life in Costa Rica and is pretty much a national heroine. And I ain't got a problem with that because she has achieved a lot. But go near Fundora, Fundora, a flyweight who says she could make light flyweight, 5'8" tall, hits like a truck, has some real spite to her work. I would certainly favour Fundora over Yoka, but that seems to be what she's doing, trying to go for the fourth title. For Esparza, I mean, I keep saying, well, she's 35, she's slipped to 15-3 now. She's never been stopped. So, yeah, I mean, she'll get work if she wants to carry on. But losing to Alanes meant she lost the WBC and WBO belts that she previously held. So this was a real comeback fight for her, albeit against a champion from a lower weight. Valle does hold one of the minimum weight titles. She won a vacant belt in her last fight. But anyway, getting back to the fight itself, as I say, there were lots of very, very, very close rounds. Both girls orthodox fighters. Valle, I would say, has the slicker, tidier work. Stands quite upright, but with a very sort of textbook boxing technique. Good jab. She was landing some very good body punches in the middle rounds, and that made me think, why didn't you start with that earlier? Because, as I said, Esparza does have rather thick waist, a thick middle, sort of begs to be hit. But Esparza probably got underrated skills in the sense that her jab isn't too bad when she gets it going, but she does like to storm forward, bull forward, and sort of barrel forward and throw these huge hooks, which she tried to do against Valle. But Valle used her feet well. She moved nicely around the ring. She wasn't running by any stretch of the imagination. She was, I suppose you'd say box fighting. And you can be aggressive on the back foot, as I've said many times in these videos. You did get the feeling that Valle, well, probably both of them could have done a bit more. There was a little bit of cat and mouse, a little bit of chess going on in there, certainly in the early rounds. But Valle, I liked the cleaner work from Valle. She wasn't landing everything. She was firing quite a few punches. But Esparza, even though she's only got one KO, looked like she had the heavier hands. I mean, Valle's got 10 KOs in 33 wins, which isn't a bad percentage for the women's game. But I don't think she really stung Esparza to any degree. There was one body punch in one of the middle rounds that I thought got Esparza's attention, maybe stopped her from trundling forward. But as you got the feeling that Esparza was going to have to outwork the better techniqued Valle. And I don't think she quite did that. She did, don't get me wrong, she won rounds. But I just thought Valle was slightly more refined in her work. Nicer jab, hanging some good little combinations off the jab. And like I say, went to the body. Should have been more consistent to the body, might have slowed Esparza up a bit more. But Esparza, when she got in close, I mean, the physicality of the girl who's been at flyweight for, a lot of her career, it did look like it was telling. And the problem, of course, is that this is 10 2-minute rounds, not 10 threes or 12 threes. So you've got to get your work done quicker. It didn't surprise me. I thought that when the final bell went, I thought this is a majority or a split decision. And sure enough, it was Valle that got the split decision. But you know what? It could have gone the other way. When the first card that was read out, I think was for Esparza, and I thought, maybe she's gonna edge it. Well, maybe it's a draw. I mean, these girls could go again. They could have a rematch. But we'll see. I mean, Mexico's Esparza has done very well in her career. If she wants to carry on, yeah, she's got something left. She'll give anyone from sort of flyweight downwards, she'll give them a tough fight, except maybe Fundora. I think Fundora the style might lend itself to Fundora's power. I think Fundora might get rid of her, but she's a tough little madam. And as for Valle, yeah, I like her a lot. I've liked both these girls throughout their careers. I think they both got something to offer, and the styles even though they were contrasting, did gel well in this fight. So I don't know if you saw this fight, but if you did, leave your comments below. Who did you think won? Or maybe you thought it was a draw. Leave your comments below and I'll have a read, answer as many as I can. And thank you very much for your time. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button. And spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And bye for now.